Welcome back to the home of Shadow Pokemon. Today we are taking a look at the most oppressive charmer of them all. And as you can see from this clip, people absolutely do not want that smoke. Shadow Granbull, super oppressive in a lot of matchups, but absolutely dreadful in a lot of other matchups. Poison types are dreadful. Stuff like Nidoqueen is really common, so we are pairing it up with its two bodyguards. Both that absolutely destroy Nidoqueen. We are using Shadow Lapras on the safe switch, and our absolute Donny, the GOAT of the channel, Shadow Swampert, operating as the closer. I had a lot of success with this team. I'm actually going to showcase 4 sets, believe it or not, and the video is less than half an hour. That is going to tell you all you need to know about just how oppressive this team is. And in game 1, we see Swampert in the lead. 3 turn versus 2 turn is very hard to try and catch, but I attempted to catch a charge move either way. On Lapras, we were unsuccessful. The opponent dumped an Earthquake, which was super unnecessary as they safe switch into the big tin can. Obviously, the tin can doesn't need chip damage to beat Lapras, and even worse, the opponent has chooses to CMP Timey on the second move. Mr. Opponent, what are you doing? As oppressive as Granbull is, obviously I can't charm down the big tin can from this range, so we are forced to come in with Swampert. I'm not going to shield this up in case the opponent goes for a Zap Cannon. They smartly Focus Blast. Earthquake would knock out, Hydro Cannon will not, but they aren't going to be able to make another move, so we're going to Hydro Cannon and commit to the Mudshot Farm Down, and now we are primed to sweep. Swampert is absolutely loaded. They bring out back their own Swampert. We near take him out with a Hydro Cannon. The opponent now brings in Talonflame. I throw 4 Mud Shots and the Hydro Cannon, which is the correct timing. That draws a shield from the Talonflame, 2 more Mud Shots and the second Hydro Cannon. The Talonflame is going to be forced to double shield. You can see we've got hardly any HP, so we'll just throw 1 Mud Shot as the Incinerate would register and take me out. We land the Hydro Cannon, we bring in 2 shielded Granbull, and that's all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next race, Nidoqueen in the lead. This is why we've got 2 bodyguards for it. We safe switch into Lapras. The opponent answers with Surf Etch. So hard counting in the lead, hard counting on the switch. The opponent chose to shield up the Surf. They throw out great timing, not allowing me to get off the second Surf. Night Slash takes us out. We are going to come in with Granbull. The opponent has overfarmed. I'm well aware they could be running Brave Bird, but I really couldn't give a fuck. Granbull is dead weight against Nidoqueen. We are going to try and 2-shield Swampert to victory. We commit to the Mudshot Farm Down. What does the opponent have? In the back, they can't return with Nidoqueen, surely not, but the opponent does choose to come in with Nidoqueen. They fire off a Poison Fang. I am showing no respect. We're hanging on to them 2 shields. I am going to fire off 1 Mud Shot before they get to the next Poison Fangs. If they shield, we're just going to spam out the second. They let it go. And in the back is the Kentucky Fried Chicken Bird of Death. And you already know Swampert is about to do GOAT things. First Hydro Cannon draws the shield, 2 Mud Shots. Second Hydro Cannon is going to land Ultra League, super bulky. It doesn't take him out, but Swampert still not done. Makes the third Hydro Cannon. That's going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. And you can now already see after just 2 battles why I call Swampert the GOAT. Moving on to the next battle. And that was the intro clip. That opponent using Swampert thought, fuck Granbull, I want none of that. So moving swiftly on. We see Galarian Stunfisk, the Bear Trap, in the lead. Once again, dreadful. We safe switch into Lapras. Rockside does hit for super effective, and they answer with a Walrus. I am going to bait the Skull Bash. I'm not running Skull Bash. I do think Skull Bash is the move you want to run in this meta, but as this is a Legacy Lapras, I'm not going to TM it. But speaking of which, while this really long, boring matchup plays out, I have actually got another Lapras that I have best buddied. This is non-XL, and that is also non-XL. You can see the CP on this is 29, 69 in this battle, as I set the wrong one to best buddy, but that is another one I will be building for Ultra League, and I'm actually going to put it on Dragon Pulse, so stay tuned for that. Getting back into this battle, we got the Walroen fairly low. We couldn't hit it for anything other than resisted. The opponent fires off a Icicle Sphere. Granbull commits to the Charm Down, and once again we're looking to 2-shield Swampert all the way to victory. Can we do it for another battle? In comes the Bear Trap, and they've got their own Swampert in the back. I've played this matchup many times. I'm going straight for the Hail Mary. Does the opponent respect the damage? They do not. Earthquake lands for huge damage. I am going to shield up in case the opponent is smart and also Earthquakes. They do not. I know this can only be a Hydro Cannon. Swampert is going to commit to the Mudshot Farm Down. I am going to need to make a catch. The opponent is going to go straight Rock Side. I'm going to fire off the first Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon will draw a shield, from the opponent. They're now at the rock side. I attempt to catch. The opponent smartly doesn't throw. We're at the back-to-back Hydro Cannons. Is Hydro Cannon going to be enough to knock out? First one goes shielded. It is a CMP tie, so I've got no choice but to go for a Hydro Cannon. Is it going to be enough to take out the Bear Trap? And do we get another Swampert sweep? No, we do not. They survive 1 HP and a dream. Well, it's a few HP. But either way, Swampert made it a super close game. You give the GOAT an inch and he shall take a mile. Moving on to the next one, we see a great lead. Giratina, the opponent answers with Registeel. I am super quick to my response. We already know we do survive a Focus Blast. I am absolutely not going to shield that up. We are going to build up to 100 energy and we're going to fire off the Earthquake. Earthquake goes unshielded. We almost take him out. We now manage to mud shot down, and should Giratina return, that big fucking stupid dragon can eat an Earthquake too. The opponent does come in with Giratina. No baits on this channel. Earthquake, only neutral, still does huge damage to the Giratina. We make a Hydro Cannon just for good measure. This is going to get the Giratina fairly low. My switch timer pops up. I switch out into Lapras. Nidoqueen in the back. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see Buzzwold flexing its big muscles, but it's getting absolutely shredded by Charm. There must be ABA weak to Charm. As they're staying in, they fire off the lunge. Granbull doesn't care. We Charm down. I'm looking to save switch immediately. They had Muck, and now it is Umbreon in the back. I've got no idea why the opponent is staying in. This game is absolutely over. They think Umbreon is bulky, but Lapras really doesn't care. You can see these foul plays do effectively nothing, and we are going to start unleashing Surf after Surf. We've still got Granbull and a full health Swampert. I've got no idea what the opponent is hoping for, but they obviously haven't seen the GOAT in the back. So we fire off one more Surf. This gets Umbreon fairly low. One more Surf just for good luck. The opponent's still hanging on to 2 shields. They're going to be very sad when Muck is aligned with Swampert. We are going to allow this to go through. I'm going to bring in Swampert, look to commit to the mud shot down. Finally, the opponent concedes, and that is a good game. Moving on to the next one. We pick up a great lead. They say switch into Venusaur. I am super quick with the response to Lapras, but this is not a fantastic matchup. Frenzy Plant really threatening. Ice Shard tearing through him. I am going to fire off a Surf, hoping to draw a shield from the opponent, and this is why I usually say don't fucking bait. The opponent didn't take the bait, and I am now forced to go down 2 shields, but it doesn't matter too much as Granbull staying aligned with a dark type is exactly what you want to see. Speaking of dark types, this opponent has got Scrafty in the back. I'm pretty sure you probably should have fought for switch. But either way, this game is going to be over. We bring in Granbull, the Charm, tearing through this Scrafty. They're going to fire off the foul play. Foul play really doesn't do enough damage. They've got just the Umbreon left. We're going straight for the close combat. I learnt my lesson with that stupid bait. The opponent shields it up. They now fire off a charge move, dumping some energy. Last resort takes us out. This Umbreon is quite low on HP. We bring in Swampert, and that's another concede. GG's and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next one, we see Giratina in the lead. The opponent is staying in, which is quite puzzling. You can see this oppressive Charm. Giratina, super bulky, getting absolutely tore through. As the opponent is staying in, we're just going to Charm them all the way down. They've got Talonflame. We make an immediate switch into Lapras as we've got 2 better responses for Talonflame. We've now got our Cresselia on the battlefield. Lapras, not the best matchup here, but not the worst. Ice Shard Surf spam is pretty decent. The opponent is choosing to shield their Cresselia. We are going to fire off one more Surf. Surf does land. The opponent is going to have to fire a charge move. They throw at good timing just as we reach the next Surf. We are going to allow our Lapras to go down. We can now come in with Granbull. We've got the Crunch locked and loaded. Does the opponent respect the Crunch? Yes, they do. They've now got no shields. We're not going to bother shielding up Granbull. We're going to save 2 shields for Swampert, and you already know that Swampert is going to sweep. Back out comes Talonflame. We throw at good timing. Hydro Cannon doesn't one-shot, unfortunately, but does do big damage. The opponent fires off what could be a Brave Bird. Let's see if they bait. They go straight for the Brave Bird. That allows Swampert to mud shot down Cresselia, eat Earthquake, and that's going to be all she wrote. GG's and thanks for playing. Shadow Swampert trying to steal the glory. Moving on to the next one. We see Walroen in the lead. This is why I don't really like 3-turn moves. It makes it super difficult to catch, but you can see Charm absolutely tearing through this Walrus. We tank the first Icicle Sphere. I attempt to catch the second on my Lapras. We are unsuccessful. I highly doubt the opponent does bait. They go straight for the Earthquake, but Lapras, super thick, even when you're a noob like myself, and forget to set it as your best buddy. The opponent now switches in to a Swampert. We land the first Surf. We get some great lag. Hello, game. I've got no idea how much energy they've got, but I'm still not going to shield up the Lapras. They go for a Hydro Cannon. It doesn't KO, and it looks like I was spamming out the Ice Beam. Ice Beam draws a shield from Swampert. They mud shot me down. Not fantastic, but we can now bring in our own Swampert. I am going to shield it up in case this is an Earthquake. I've got no idea with the lag how much energy they've got. It's just a Hydro Cannon. So I'm going to hope that this is just another Hydro Cannon. Yes, it is. I've still got no idea how much energy they've got. They bring back in the Walrus, looking to snipe. Great play on their part, and I am getting pretty fucking tilted at this stage. We switch into Granbull, and I'm just going to throw a blind close combat at whatever, because I am probably not playing fantastically now with all the lag. It's Talonflame in the back. So we are going to be able to take him out with a Hydro Cannon. I throw 2 Mud Shots and the Hydro Cannon. The opponent really can't shield, and it's going to be a race. Can we outpace the Swampert? The Swampert had some energy, and we lose the battle. Niantic, fix your fucking game. So I restarted my app, and let's see if this game is smoother. We see A9 in the lead. It's actually on Powder Snow, so it does mean they are less oppressive. Weather Ball does quite a lot, considering it's nerfed. Granbull, Paper Fin. We look to catch the next Weather Ball on Lapras, and we are successful. Weather Ball probably healed us, actually. I think I got more HP than when I started, but I'm now not so smug as they answer with Scrafty. Despite the favourable typing, Lapras doesn't do too bad in this matchup, especially when they spot me a load of free energy. First Surf gets them into the yellow. We make 1 more Surf. This isn't going to be enough to knock out, but this Scrafty is now pretty much useless. It was useless anyway, as we had Granbull. 1 Charm is going to be enough to take him out. We land the Charm. However, if the opponent foul plays, it will take us out. The Charm doesn't register, so once again, we're going with 2 Shield Swampert. We Mud Shot all the way down. We know they've got A9. Show me something weak to Swampert in the back. It is actually an Umbreon. So, Swampert has got a fucking shitload of work to do. We are going to spam out Hydro Cannon after Hydro Cannon. The opponent shields it up, but you already know that Swampert's got plenty more of where that comes from. Second Hydro Cannon does land. I'm not inclined to shield the first move, just because Umbreon hits like a wet noodle. We tank the first one, we fire off 1 more Hydro Cannon. This should get Umbreon down into the yellow. They actually choose to shield. They've now got no shields remaining, and Swampert is running out of HP, so we shield the first one. I imagine the opponent will bring out A9. There it is, Hydro Cannon will be enough to take care of the A9 from this range. Back out comes the Umbreon. We've still got a shield remaining, and we make the Earthquake. But is Earthquake going to be enough to knock out? Yes, it is. Who was worried? Swampert only needed 1 shield to beat the basic meta. Moving on to the next one. We see Kanto Mark in the lead. Absolutely dreadful. Even Lapras doesn't have a great matchup because they do run Thunder Punch. They now answer with Obstagoon, obviously wanting to get Obstagoon away from the Charmer. However, Obstagoon isn't a fighter. These moves don't do a lot. The opponent fires off the Night Slash, and I'm going straight for the Ice Beam. I highly doubt the opponent is going to want to shield. Ice Beam lands. Can we Ice Shard down? No, we cannot. The opponent does throw. I was really tempted to shield this up, and actually I did shield as I really want to flip that switch advantage. So we managed to take them out, and they've got a Granbull of their own in the back. So I bring in my own Granbull for the mirror. We are down shields. They bring in Muck. We catch what should be a Thunder Punch on Swampert. So we're making all the plays to try and flip this terrible lead. The opponent is going to fire off what could be a Dark Pulse. I don't want to shield up in case they go Thunder Punch. They do throw the Dark Pulse, doesn't do too much damage. The Mud Shots have now put it in a range where Hydro Cannon is threatening. I fire off the Hydro Cannon. We need to get to the back-to-back. This second Hydro Cannon should draw the final shield, which it does. The opponent is going to fire 1 more charge move, and this is where you're going to see I do mess up. This charge move allows the switch timer to pop up. The opponent switches out into their own Granbull. I undercharge, looking to get some farm on Granbull. I don't undercharge enough. I needed to go for a little bit more. You can see we would have had enough HP to survive 1 more charm, and perhaps we could have CMP tied the Muck to the move, and we could have won the battle, but we did not. Moving on to the next one. We see another Walrus in the lead, so 2 turn versus 3 turn. Not easy to catch, but you already know I'm going to attempt to catch an Icicle Spear at some stage. We are going to allow the first one to go through. I'm going to throw 1 more charm and look to catch. Finally, we do manage to catch an Icicle Spear on our own Lapras. It doesn't do a lot. The opponent is going to stay in. I don't know why. Apparently, people that are on Walrus don't have a great response. I never shield this Earthquake, but if you want to use a shield, they always go for the Earthquake. We are now going to look to fire off a Surf. Surf is resisted, but Lapras does hit pretty hard. Surf doesn't KO the opponent. Not wanting to get Ice Shard down, switch out into Talonflame. We throw 3 Ice Shards and the Surf, so that's 9 turns versus 10. They shield up the first. We are going to fire out Surf. Number 2, that lands on Talonflame. It looks like the opponent is going for the farm down. They get scared. Dump some energy. We are sitting in a pretty good spot. We have Swampert up 2 shields, which is exactly how I like to play it. But you know what's better than 2 shields? Fuck it. Let's sack Granbull and give Swampert 3 shields. We sack Granbull, they go straight for the bird. We come in with Swampert, it's their own Swampert. In the back, we're going straight for the Earthquake. Earthquake lands for huge damage. The opponent building up a boatload of energy, so we spam out 1 more Hydro Cannon. The opponent shields it up. I am going to have to give up a shield here in case they go for an Earthquake, as it would knock out from this range. This is just a Hydro Cannon. I am going to allow it to go through. I don't know how much energy the Walrus had, as I forgot to count, and I weren't really paying all that much attention. You probably should pay more attention than me, but we do save our shield. If I see the Walrus return, I'm going to take him out with a Hydro Cannon. We're 2 mud shots away from the charge move. Back out comes Talonflame. We survive the Incinerate, and Swampert close another game strong. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle, we see Walrus in the lead. This Walrus is going to build up an absolute boatload of energy. The opponent fires off on 10. They're at the back-to-back Icicle Spheres. I'm going to tank the first. I'm going to instantly swap into Lapras, looking to catch the second. And Lapras, once again, is going to soak up the resisted or double resisted Icicle Sphere. The opponent now answers with Escavalier. Once again, Lapras isn't the safest of switches. We've met many counter users, but Surf does get them fairly low, well, at least into half health, and the opponent is going for a huge overfarm. They're forced to give up a shield. They didn't even commit to the counter down. I don't know why. I think at that stage you've got a counter down. They did not. This Escav is going to be a bit of an issue for me to get rid of. I'm going to come in with Granbull. I am going to look to shield once and charm all the way down. Do we get there? Yes, we do. I'm looking top right to see what comes in. I see the ice typing come in, so I'm going to fire off the close combat. Close combat does draw a shield. The opponent didn't sneak as we've thrown, so Swampert is going to be able to come in and win CMP. This is where the Walrus nerf really hurts the opponent. And in the back, they have Giratina. So you're going to see here, I am going to go for the extra. I am going to shield this up, and then I'm going to look to CMP tie the Giratina to not give the extra back. You can see no Shadow Claw does come through. We fire off the Earthquake. It is a CMP tie, so we should be able to now outpace to the second Earthquake. We've got a tiny sliver of health on Granbull as well, but Swampert isn't going to need any help closing yet another game. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next battle. Holy crap, it's another Walrus. Someone told me these things were going to be extinct. Evidently, they are not. The opponent builds up a boatload of energy. This time, I don't even tank an Icicle Sphere. On Granbull, we catch it on our Lapras. The opponent now comes in with Cresselia. Pretty good response for Lapras, especially if they're on Grass Knot like this one. Grass Knot gets us into the yellow. It looks like the second Grass Knot will knock us out. I am going to fire off the first Surf. I'm going to look to CMP tie the Cresselia on the second one. The opponent doesn't throw. Second Surf does some nice chip damage to the Cresselia. They're now over farming very heavily. Good play from the opponent, firing off before the third Surf. That takes us out. We can now come back in with the Granbull. We're almost at the crunch. We're 2 charms away. This looks to be a CMP tie. The opponent had a Grass Knot, so I've got no idea why they didn't throw. They actually shield it up. I'm going to no-shield. Grass Knot won't be lethal. Holy smokes, Future Sight definitely is. Once again, we've got 2 shielded Swampert looking to sweep. We are going to respect the Grass Knot. Swampert looking for the mud shot down. Do we get there? Yes, we do. Swampert absolutely loaded. In the back is a Charmer. I throw 1 mud shot and the Hydro Cannon. I'm now going to throw 4 mud shots and the Hydro Cannon, the correct timing. It also means they can't switch out. The opponent gives up their final shield. I throw 4 more mud shots and the Hydro Cannon. Once again, the opponent can't switch. See you fucking later, Charmer. Get wrecked. Back out comes the Walrus. Swampert, Earthquake. GG's, buddy. Thanks for playing. Shadow Swampert in this video putting on an absolute clinic. Moving on to the next one, we see Cresselia in the lead. Not a bad matchup. Charm, oppressive, even to the bulkiest mon in the meta. The opponent goes for the Grass Knot. We are going to look to get off a crunch. Let's see if the opponent wants to give up a shield. Crunch will hit for super effect. The opponent does shield. They're now looking to overfarm. We look to catch the grass knot on Lapras. Yes, I'm aware it is super effective, but fuck it, we might need some charm damage for later. I am going to have to shield up the second grass knot. I'm then going to throw 2 ice shards, looking to CMB tie Cresselia on the next grass knot. Is the opponent willing to give up their final shield? No, they are not, and they now come in with a Snarl, Alolan Mock. We lose CMP on the Ice Beam. This can only be a foul play, which we will survive. Does the opponent respect the bigger move? Ice Beam will do a solid chunk of damage. The opponent doesn't respect it. We simultaneous swap, and it is the Swampert Shadow Mirror. You've already seen Earthquake is the play. I'm going to call Hydro Cannon. The opponent throws Hydro Cannon. But Mr. Opponent, you're about to learn a lesson. I go straight Earthquake, get fucking rep, back out comes the Mock, and they concede the match. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next one, we see their tree, the pesky Trevenant in the lead. The opponent builds up to the Shadow Ball, but as always, I am absolutely going to call the Seed Bomb bait. The opponent throws the Seed Bomb. We now make the Crunch. Crunch will knock out. Does the opponent want to save this tree with energy? Yes, they do. They're at 1 HP and a Dream. So we come in with Lapras. I imagine they're probably going to blind Shadow Ball, and that is exactly what they do. Both Shadow Ball and Seed Bomb will probably do about the same. We're up shields. They've got Nidoqueen. We say switch into Swampert. The opponent is staying in. Swampert is going to take him out. The opponent lets it go, and let's see what they have in the back. It's their own Swampert, and that is a very quick game. Moving on to the next one. We see Jellicent in the lead, another Master Beta Pokemon. My huge cojones are going to say, you, my friend, are going to go Bubble Beam. Bubble Beam is what they do. They're now nerfing our charm damage, but we are going to CMP tie to the second Bubble Beam. Crunch just takes them out. They've got Nidoqueen. We say switch into Lapras, and it is Scrafty in the back. So we are sitting in a great spot. We spam out this first Surf. Surf gets Scrafty into around a 60% HP range. We tank the power-up punch. Obviously, all we need to do, once again, is 2 shield Swampert to victory. The second Surf gets Scrafty, super low. They actually throw as well. This is perfect for us. Power-up punch doesn't quite take us out. They almost take us out. I'm going to come in with Swampert, get ahead on some energy. The opponent has to throw a Earth Power. I imagine they're going to go Poison Fang after Poison Fang, but I'm just going to double shield. They actually go straight for the Earth Power. That was the only win con landing it, and we aren't going to allow that. Moving on to the next one. We see Tapu Fini in the lead. They say switch into Registeel. It's going to be Talonflame in the back. The team foe went on a 19-game win streak. All the copycats are now using this team. We come in with Swampert to answer the Tin Can. We go straight for the Earthquake. The opponent lets it go. Earthquake knocks him out. Can't be the best IV Registeel. I was hoping it didn't knock out and I could get some more farm, but it doesn't really matter. Tapu Fini gets less farm. On me, we still get to the Earthquake. The opponent chooses to shield it up. We come in with Granbull, expecting the opponent to switch out into Talonflame. Granbull pretty much dead weight at this stage. There is the Talonflame. We have Lapras. We do miss a fast move, which isn't fantastic. The opponent is going to need to land a sneaky Brave Bird at some stage. We shield up a Flame Charge, but either way, we throw 3 Ice Shards and the Surf. Surf is going to do big damage. The Talonflame chooses to shield. They now look to get to the Brave Bird. Obviously, not counting our energy particularly well. Surf takes them out. Tapu Fini once again concedes. GG's, and thanks for playing. Moving on to the next one, everyone's favourite lead, Granbull into Walrus. Let's see if I manage to make a catch. In this one, you can see I did try and catch, but free turn, I'm stuck in the animation. We don't manage to catch, so I attempt the catch the second time, and this time we are successful. Icicle Sphere just does a little tickle to Lapras. The opponent is staying in. I know I am going to have to eat an Earthquake, but we are loading up on energy. Earthquake will get us into the yellow, but I'm really not that bothered. The opponent now answers with Talonflame. We are almost capped on energy. I throw 1 Ice Shard and the Surf. I'm now going to throw 3 Ice Shards and the next Surf for better time, and I gave away 2 free turns the first time. Only give away 1 free turn the next time. This Talonflame is dumping energy. We allow the Flame Charge to go through. Swampert up 2 shields, looking pretty sweet. I know this is just a Flame Charge, so despite having 2 shields, I absolutely am not going to shield that up. I throw 4 Mud Shots and a Hydro Cannon. This should be taking care of Talonflame. I am getting pretty low now. The opponent has a Dragon Breath Giratina In the back, we fire off the Earthquake. Earthquake gets it lower. Now switch out into Granbull. I was considering going for the Charm down, but I've got the Crunch loaded. We've got hardly any HP. Crunch takes him out. Granbull charms down, and we 2-shield flex our way to victory. Moving on to the next one. We see Talonflame in the lead. Immediate safe switch into Lapras. The opponent does stay in. We fire off a Surf. Surf goes unshielded. Because they've no shield, I imagine they are going to throw a Bird, but fuck it, I'm still not going to shield. The opponent now switches out into Cresselia. This does mean we are going to be in a Psycho Cut down range, which isn't fantastic. Perhaps I should have shielded up the Bird, but most people seem to have a pretty good response for Lapras, so I chose not to. We get to one more Surf. This gets the Cresselia into the yellow, and they are now absolutely loaded. We do survive any one move with Granbull. The opponent fires off the Moonblast. We are going to keep charming away. I'm still not going to shield Granbull. I'm going to look to try and 2-shield Swampert once again to victory. The opponent has Venusaur, and holy shit, I want none of that. So sometimes 2-shielding Swampert isn't always the way to go. But in hindsight, even if I shielded up Granbull, Granbull has a dreadful matchup against Venusaur due to its poison typing. So those were the battles with the Oppressive Charmer and its 2 bodyguards. You can see 20 battles only took around 24 minutes to shoutcast, so super quick. A lot of people just top left, right and centre. Obviously, we did get hard counted a few times. You aren't going to win them all, but I'd say this team's pretty good. If you're looking for a strong team to climb with that is a bit off meta, have a go with this one. If you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. We're almost at 3K. I'd like to say thank you for all the support, and I will see you all in the next one.